Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihin kareem. Yes, indeed, just as we are reminding you of the importance of preparing for the blessed month of Ramadan, and Ramadan does not begin with the sighting of the crescent moon, that is to determine and to establish the beginning of our Islamic month with certainty. Just like how we had established our Islamic month of Sha'ban with certainty, given that we had started our first of Sha'ban on Sunday 7th of April, that means the 15th day of Sha'ban will be 15th day of Sha'ban will be on Sunday the 21st of April. That means if we want to gain benefit from Ayyamul Bid, from the white fast, these are the fast which the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ is to fast the 13th, 14th and 15th of every month, which coincides with the 19th Friday, the 20th Saturday and the 21st of April Sunday. So these are the 3 days. If you want to gain benefit from the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, when we are speaking about your preparation for the blessed month of Ramadan, and just as we reminded you that there are those who enter the month of Ramadan and they have hatred, animosity, they have grudge for each another, they have not forgiven each another. So I want to remind you that let's take the 15th night of Sha'ban, which coincides with Saturday 20th of April. The night precedes the day, so it is the 15th night of Sha'ban and the day is Sunday, the 21st of April. And the sunnah is not to keep fast on one day, the 15th day. The sunnah is the 13th, 14th and 15th. So as to make that intention, inshaAllah. But given that we have the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Almighty Allah Ta'ala, He is forgiving all of His creation and is excluding the mushrik and the mushahin. Do you know that there are many different types of diseases that one keeps in his heart? When we understand that there is the issue on the jealousy, there is the issue on a person, he has kibr, he has pride, he looks down upon other people. There is the issue on a families, brothers, one family, they have severed the ties of their families because they have not sorted out probably the wirasa, the Islamic law of inheritance, the Islamic will. If that was not executed, if the estate was not wound up according to the Sharia, then you will find another reason why there will be, we say, shahna, baghdha, hatred, animosity, grudges. So how can we enter the blessed month of Ramadan when we have not even able to bring about reconciliation, when we are not able to bring about sulh, when there is dispute between husband and wife, when there are so many disputes in many families and they have not able to sit down to reconcile, to understand what it means to forgive each another. So before we delve into this issue, we wanted to highlight to you part of the preparation, or when we enter the month of Ramadan, yes, we say we enter it with certainty. Just like how we enter the month of Sha'ban with certainty, and now we know when is Laylatul Nisf min Sha'ban, and we know that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from many of the hadiths of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one of which when he was in the sajda, and when he was making the dua, Allahumma inni a'udhu bi'afwik min iqabik wa a'udhu bi ridaka min sakhatik wa a'udhu bika minka la uhsi sana'an alayk anta kama asnayta ala nafsik. When he sallallahu alaihi wasallam is making that dua in prostration, then yes, indeed, we remind ourselves that the type of ibadah and the worship that one engages and the different types of how he connects himself to Allah, whether he is engaging in the recitation of the Quran, whether he is standing at prayer, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam كان يقوم في الليل حتى تتفطر قدماه. He used to stand at prayer at night until his feet used to become sullen. And Aisha radiallahu anha is asking that, Ya Rasulullah, لما تصنع هذا يا رسول الله وقد غفر الله لك ما تقدم من ذنبك وما تأخر. How is it? How are you standing at prayer at night and Allah has forgiven your past and your future sins? He sallallahu alaihi wasallam responds by saying, أَفَلَا أَكُونَ عَبْدًا شَكُورًا. Shall I not become a grateful servant of my Rabb? So the standing and the qiyam and the prayer, it is not only in the month of Ramadan. In Ramadan you have your taraweeh, you have your standing at prayer at night, and no doubt the standing of the prayer and the taraweeh prayer, that is another great way and means of coming closer to Almighty Allah Ta'ala, because the reward of that person who is going to stand in the night, every night in the taraweeh prayer, man qama imanan ihtisaban, Allah will forgive all his previous sins. Whoever is going to stand on the night of Laylatul Qadr, Allah Ta'ala will forgive his previous sins. Whoever is going to keep fast in the day, Allah Ta'ala, that is with iman and ihtisab, having that iman, having that desire of earning reward. How would one know the importance and benefits of the reward of his actions and a'mal if one has not really prepared, learned, read, understood? So welcoming the month of Ramadan, knowing that there is a very special month that lies ahead of us. It is in this month of Sha'ban where people are so heedless, where people take it very lightly, where people are thinking, and there are those whom are worried and saying, how are we going to enter the month of Ramadan? How is it that we're going to stand for so long prayer at night? How are we going to keep fast during the day? Can we, because of some type of sickness, keep our fast when the days are shorter? What are the ahkam and ruling? So hence your preparation. And as I highlighted to you, that know, understand that there will be those who will be looking at the many different timetables, and they will be looking and saying that this timetable, the beginning of the Fajr is much later. But the point is, each one is responsible for his own fast. And there are those who may have not the deep understanding and knowledge about it. And there are those who are responsible for producing these type of timetables, and they are taking the responsibility on their shoulders, because our deen, when it comes to our ibadah, when it comes to our worshipping Almighty Allah Ta'ala, then no man has the prerogative to change or to make adjustments to that which has already been sanctioned by Almighty Allah Ta'ala. Just like how a person, he will not break his fast 1 minute, 2 minutes before sunset, because he has understood and he has that firm yaqeen and certainty that he has to break his fast only at sunset time. So similarly, if we have understood and know that there is a beginning time of the fast, we cannot make adjustments to the beginning. When there is clear evidence to point out that our beginning time, if it coincides with the astronomical 18 degrees, when the sun, after it goes below the horizon, and when it before sunrise, or when it comes back up on the horizon, and it is or coincides with the astronomical 18 degrees, then that is, if it is understood by those who carried out this mushahada, observation of the eastern horizon, where there is a speck of light that appears in the horizon, and when that light goes up on the horizon and then spreads, and understood that this is that beginning of our true dawn and Fajr prayer, based on the verse of the Holy Quran, كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ. Eat and drink until it is very clear. Is it tabayyun? Does it mean, is it with certainty? Does it mean that when that speck of light appears on the horizon horizontally and then spreads vertically? What exactly do we understand by the beginning time of Fajr? So for those who have the experience and those who have carried out their observations, and they have found that if it coincides with the 18 degrees when the sun is below the horizon, and then it gives off a light above the horizon, if that is the beginning of your Fajr, then I need to remind you that this year, for the first 17 days of the blessed month of Ramadan, 16, 17 days, again, remember, until I would say till the 23rd of May, we have normal astronomical, we have normal Subh Sadiq through dawn occurring. And hence, you will find that even in your Ramadan, when you commence and you're keeping your fast, know at least why is your beginning of your Fajr for the first 17 days. It coincides with the normal, accurate, astronomical 18-degree timetable, and thereafter it goes into a period of persistent twilight. What does it mean? It means simply that in this month of Sha'ban, for the entire month, your beginning time of Fajr is normal through dawn Subh Sadiq. And when we enter the month of Ramadan, right up until the 23rd of May, you have normal Subh Sadiq. Then you will note after that, there is a period where the sun does not go below the horizon sufficient enough to abolish the twilight. And hence that is called the persistent twilight. And hence that is where the ijtihad and those muftis and respected ulama and great scholars, when they exerted their opinion to come to an understanding that you can adopt a criteria known as Aqrabul Ayyam, meaning using the nearest day or the last day where the true dawn occurs, and continue using that same date right up until the end of Ramadan, and really until the 21st of July. Because here in London, we have 2 months of the year where we do not have natural Subh Sadiq through dawn occurring, from the 23rd of May till the 21st of July, which simply means that we, for the first 17 days, we have normal through Subh Sadiq. So it means part of your preparation of the month of Ramadan is to know how do you enter our Islamic month. You want to enter it with certainty, because when we come to the end of Sha'ban, there is a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whomsoever is keeping fast on the day of doubt, فَقَدْ عَصَى أَبَا الْقَاسِمِ, he has disobeyed Abul Qasimi. Who is Abul Qasimi? Who is the father of Qasim? He is none other than Abu Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So therefore, the month is either 29 or 30 days. If that hilal and that crescent moon is not sighted on the 29th of Sha'ban, and if it means that we have to complete another day, 30 days of Sha'ban, and that is what we say, establishing our month of certainty. Because once you establish the beginning, remember, I need to add in this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because we do not want to enter the month of Ramadan and then we go in and we become argumentative, and then we are fighting, and then we are quarreling, because we have not asked the questions well in advance. We only wake up when Ramadan has commenced, and now we are fighting with our Imam, and says, "Ya Imam, why is your timetable, why is it different? You are there in Pearly Masjid, and this is a masjid there very close by, and they have a different time which is beginning of your fasting. Are you saying that that timetable is wrong?" We are not saying that that timetable is wrong. We are saying understand what criteria is being followed by this timetable. Why is it? I am explaining to you, and that is the reason why we say leave that which is doubtful to that which is no doubt in it. One of the confusion is, why in the month of Ramadan suddenly your Fajr time is coming so early? you will note that the beginning of Fajr is from Subh Sadiq, the true dawn. Anytime after Subh Sadiq, the true dawn, is your Fajr time. And the end of your Fajr time is still before the sunrise. So if before the month of Ramadan you find that your beginning or your Fajr in congregation in Jama'ah is very close to the sunrise, there is perfectly normal, there is no issue, there is no concern. But when it comes to the month of Ramadan, now you are asking, why is now the Jama'ah time brought earlier? You will see it is still before the sunrise and it is after the Subh Sadiq. So learn, understand the timetable in this month of Sha'ban. Don't wait for the month of Ramadan and start questioning, why is this Jama'ah time? And this is where the confusion is. Congregational time is done and can be done anytime before sunrise. But in the month of Ramadan, your fast is obligatory. Just like how you will not break your fast few minutes before the sunset time because you have accepted it and you believe it and you are certain and you following and accepted that astronomical data which is qat'iyyun, conclusive, established. You will not break your fast. You will not even go out to observe the sunset and see, has the sun really set? No. Similarly, we need to start thinking, how can we begin our fast with certainty? To begin and commence your fast, if you know that this is Subh Sadiq and this is the true dawn, and if you understand that those countries and those zones and those regions which are on very high latitude, and if those countries like in the northern parts, and if the Subh Sadiq occurs much earlier, you will understand that there are countries like Ireland, and you will find that there is, the higher you go, the true dawn occurs much earlier. And this persistent twilight in UK, in London, for 2 months of the year. Hence, knowing that this year in Ramadan, for the first 17 days, it is normal true dawn. And if it has been found that those who done the observation, and if they found it to coincide with the astronomical 18 degrees, because that can be computed and that is calculated exactly with accuracy to the second, الشمس والقمر بحسبان. Just like how we understand the sunrise and the sunset, similarly, we know exactly how many degrees below the horizon that sun is, and hence we can calculate and know when is the beginning of your Fajr time. So you have been given a calendar and it is being given to you. No questions have been asked. Why only in the month of Ramadan? We start questioning, why is this timetable and the beginning of your Fajr so early? We are reminding you because there are those who want to keep fast in this month of Sha'ban. And Sha'ban you are fasting to prepare for the month of Ramadan. And kana Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam yasumu fi shahri Sha'ban. When he was fasting so much in this month of Sha'ban, it seemed as if though he fasted the entire month of Sha'ban. And why is he keeping the fast? This is the month people are heedless about. This is the month where we prepare for Ramadan because you are getting into the Aada. You are adjusting yourself, experiencing how is it to keep fast in the long days, long hours. And therefore, understand. When you have built that certainty and you have understood the reward of the fast, of the fasting person, la khalufu famis sa'imi atyaba inda Allah min rihil misk. When you have understood that the smell and the fragrance, or even if it is a bad odor, and any smell that emanates from the mouth of the fasting person is more dearer to Allah than the fragrance of musk. When you know that Allah Ta'ala rewards the fasting person without any measure, when you have understood in this month of Sha'ban that when you are keeping that fast, and this fast in Sha'ban is not the same as the fast in Ramadan. When you are fasting in Ramadan, and if you invalidate or break one fast without any valid reason, then even though you are making kafara, or even though you want to make up for that one fast, even though if you keep 60 fasts consecutively, that will never be equal to one fast that you missed in the month of Ramadan. So preparing for Ramadan, knowing that this is just like how you've understood about your salah and your prayers and your 5 daily salawat, then we cannot enter the month of Ramadan because you have learned and you have understood that there were those who are giving us reminder and telling us that there was a miraculous journey of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa, from Masjid al-Aqsa to the 7th heaven. And on that night of Isra and Mi'raj, Allah Ta'ala made compulsory, obligatory upon the Ummah to perform the 5 daily salawat. So how can we enter the blessed month of Ramadan if we have already not brought and adjusted and made and connected ourselves with the salawat? So Ramadan is not only about keeping away from food and drink, it is also about abstaining from sins. And one of the major sins is to abandon the salah. So let's for a moment think that we have lots of preparation to make. Preparation means, what does it mean? How do we enter the blessed month of Ramadan? With certainty. And when we enter the month of Ramadan, when exactly and how exactly do we commence our fast? What is the beginning time? What is the ending time of your fast? And it's really crucial and important to know what are the ahkam and the rulings and those actions which may invalidate the fast. And let's not be from those people, when we are keeping that fast, we get nothing from the fast. رُبَّ الصَّائِمٍ لَيْسَ لَهُ مِنْ صِيَامِهِ إِلَّا الْجُوعِ. We do not want that person, the only thing he got from his fast is hunger. May Allah Ta'ala give you and I in this month of Sha'ban to make very serious preparation for a very important month, the month of Ramadan, the season where the believer increases in his ibadah, the season for the sinner to turn to Allah Ta'ala with a repenting heart, and it is a season where every person, when he exerts himself, when he connects himself in the month of Ramadan, Allah Ta'ala gives him a very special gift at the end of the month of Ramadan, and that is the day where he is able to have celebration. That is the Eid for those people who have worked, strived, exerted themselves for an entire month solely for the pleasure of Allah. May Allah Ta'ala accept. Until our next reflection program, me Sulaiman Ghani. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.